Hello, my beautiful people. Your 2023 tarot and astrology readings are up and out there for your purchasing pleasure. So they are the same price. I'm keeping the same price so that they are accessible for everybody. So you can get them for $4.99 a piece, which is like the price of a cup of coffee, basically, or a sandwich, or probably, I don't even think you can get either of those now. Well, thereabouts at this moment in time. So this year, I have included even more knowledge, even more wisdom for you to digest. So as part of those, you will get the numerology overview, the eclipse overview. That is a part that I'm not going to be putting out on any of my other platforms. And it's really important that you see that, because the way that the eclipse is full next year is there's some really juicy tidbits in there. On top of that, you will get the lunation section, which is all about your new moon, your full moon of the year of 2023, and the eclipses and how all of those are going to be impacting your sign. On top of that, you will get the 12-month breakdown, and this year, the 12-month tarot breakdown. And on top of that, this year, I've created a 19 plus, because they're about 19 pages or more, plus page document of astrological knowledge and wisdom, and how the biggest transits of the year are going to be hitting you in your sign. So I have literally, by the way, that's downloadable and printable, so you can have it as like a reference guide for the year ahead. I literally couldn't fit any more into these. We've also made the files smaller this year so that they're easier for you guys to download. I've tried to think of absolutely everything. So you can get one for $4.99. You can get your big three, your sun, moon, and ascendant, for $14.97. So you would select the two that you want, and then at the cart you add the third item so that you get your sun, moon, and rising. Or you can buy the bundle for $24.99, right? Look at that. And then you can download them and send them to all of your loved ones. With that said, I just want to say a massive thank you for allowing me to, from time to time sell you things. Obviously, this is my business. It is how I do my work. So thank you so much for listening. If you want to get those, you can do so on the link in the description box below. For those of you that do purchase and support my work, I thank you so deeply and humbly from my heart to yours. I really hope you have a wonderful 2023, and I really hope that you love them as much as I did creating them. Take care, and then let's get to your week ahead taroscope. Hi Pisces, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. This week, thank you so much for being here. This week, your key to the week is the Moon card. This is your card in the tarot deck. If you haven't seen it yet, me and Heather, so we started a project in 2020 where we were looking at the major arcana and the astrological links. If you haven't seen it, the Moon card video is out. It's on Heather's channel. Head over there, subscribe. She's a brilliant astrologer, as many of you know. Go and check it out, right? And then you'll be able to watch the entire series. We bounce them back and forth between our channels. So if you want to see the entire series, you've got to subscribe to us both. Now, that being said, when it comes to this week for you, the Moon card is your card. So yes, all of the usual rules apply, but some different ones apply to this for you, because it means that this week you're expressing yourself truly as you are. More of your energy is coming through. This is where you're being true to yourself, but you're being seen as you actually are. This is one of those moments where all of those chameleon-like layers that the Pisces can hide behind are stripped back and stripped bare, and you are seen in your entirety. In some way, shape or form, you are being highlighted, and I actually think this is a really good thing. I think it's also a week where you're going to have a very deep insight into your own mind. I think you're going to be very reflective on the path that you've taken this week. The path that you've taken through life, but particularly this week. Now, because it is the Moon card, do expect things, people, places, and experiences from the past to be very present in this moment in time. Before we go ahead, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and that help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and options with the world at large, you've got the Tower card. Okay, so not only is this a big realization about your past, this may very well be like, the kind of blast from the past that brings tears. Not because it's awful, but just because it's like, oh my gosh, this person was my best friend at primary school. I haven't seen them since we were kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, this could be a reconnection, a reunion of some sort that just absolutely blows your mind to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. It could also be, for some of you, maybe you initiate something or you take a journey or a trip, and when you get to the other side, it's like, oh my gosh, like, is this a full circle moment? For real, it absolutely is. I am going to say a lot of the options that you thought were available to you this week are very likely to change, all right? So whatever you thought you were heading towards or going to do, maybe, you know, this could be anything like, yeah, you know, I plan to go and see so-and-so at the, you know, this time on this day, and that plan goes out the window because something else shows up. It might be that you reconnect with somebody from your past, and it's like, this is such an amazing coincidence or experience that, you know what, okay, I'm going to take the whole week off and you and me, we're going to catch up for the whole week. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, whatever you had planned to do may not go ahead, but whatever you put in place could be even better. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Father of Wands. So this is the King of Wands. Usually a fire sign male, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I'm laughing just because, I'm not going to go into it. But anyway, the communications and conversations this week take on a fun, vibrant, very energetic, possibly a little bit frenetic energy. It also suggests there's going to be a lot of laughter this week, a lot of humour, potentially some of it quite inappropriate, which is never a bad thing in my book. If you know me behind the camera, I know you're laughing right now because you know how I can be. But all jokes aside, this also suggests that your social life this week is going to be very active. Now, you could as well, for some of you, could be having like a conversation or a realization through a conversation that you're having with a fire sign. This also suggests that this week you're very active. And because you've got this underneath the moon card, it's almost like, you know, when you meet someone and you know you don't know them, but it just feels so familiar that it's like, I just feel like I've known this person forever. This could be awesome. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this is you a lot more visible to your peers, to your professors, all the rest of it. It's also you getting a deeper understanding of your particular brand of wisdom. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, you're being asked this week to be more visible. You have to be the face of your job, your work, your brand, whatever it might be. It also suggests that you could be interacting with a superior in some way that maybe for you feels like a little bit intimidating or maybe even a little bit confusing, but you're like, okay, either which way, I'm going to do the best I can. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is you gearing up to share the best of what you offer with the world. Not just like, oh yeah, you know, I do this or I made that. This is you really gearing up to do something in a big way, to sort of show like, you know what, this is what I've been working on. This is who I am. This is what my business is all about. Like, this could be for some of you, maybe you're gearing up to a launch, but it's not quite ready yet. All right. It's like whatever it is, it's not cooked. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, because you've got the Tower card here, this might be that you are expected to be the leader or the forerunner with something, and you might not feel prepared for it. It might be very much, well, you know, this needs to be dealt with, and I think it should be you because ... And it's like, you know, one of those moments where you see people shoved through the curtains on the stage, and then it's suddenly like, I'm just stood here with everybody looking at me. It might feel like that for some of you, but I think that you are more than equipped to deal with whatever it is. For your money and materials, you have the 9 of Cups with the Tower. This is beautiful, right? For those of you that are dating and maybe nothing is concrete, this week something could solidify, and you might be really pleasantly surprised at what it is, or the sense of familiarity that you have with whoever you're dating. So for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is a lot of fun, a lot of laughter. Again, probably some inappropriate moments and feelings, which I think are great. For those of you that are trying, that's pregnancy energy. It's interesting as well because the moon card is number 18. 1 and 8 gives you 9. The 9 of Cups is also a 9. Nines very often, 3, 6 and 9 energy all relate to things to do with pregnancy, whether it's the beginning, the middle, or the end of that whole sort of cycle. So yeah, I like this. I will say, for those of you that are already heavily pregnant, even if you're not due for another couple of weeks yet, this could be the week. So the baby might be a little bit early, but I'm seeing no problems or complications or issues, all right? This could also be a mending of a problem or a rift within a relationship, okay? So for those of you that are, and for those of you that are single, like I said, it's just like you find a familiarity with this person and it is almost like it doesn't make sense, but you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go with it anyway. For your money and materials, you have the Ace of Swords. So for some of you, it could be that you're signing contracts this week. For others, it looks like there are interviews on the table. But when it comes specifically to your finances, there is a boost to the monies here. Or you're like, if you're putting invoices out and you've got a business, like they're paid almost instantly. You might be really surprised, like, okay, well, we only sent this yesterday and we've already been paid, which is great. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this could be literally that maybe you get paid early. There's a few ways that this could play out. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, I always see this card as there's so much going on that the mind is what's drained or is tired, and especially with the moon card. So this week, yes, everything is good, but there is a potential here for you to not make some of the greatest decisions, all right? So just keep that in mind. When it comes to your home and environment, if you've been looking, or you're due a move, the chances are that will be initiated as a result of whatever takes place this week. Things will probably start to move very quickly from here on in, so keep that in mind. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.